Hey guys, how is everybody doing? My name's Diggory and today I want to talk to you about the ISO function in your camera. So ISO stands for International Organisation for Standardization. Now, it's not a particularly impressive name, but that's what it's called. What the ISO does is it changes the sensitivity to light of the image sensor in your camera. Now, this is really helpful for shooting low light or nighttime situations, as there's not enough light really properly light an image. So by turning up the sensitivity of your image sensor, you can get that nicely balanced image. It's also helpful if you want to use a higher aperture or a higher shutter speed where you're restricting the amount of light coming into the camera, and you can supplement that by changing the sensitivity of the image sensor to then expose your image correctly. If you put your ISO at too high a value, you'll start to see noise, which is imperfection in the image. Now, it's not like film grain, which is an effect that everybody seems to love. Noise is different. It's kind of horrible and ugly, and the less noise you have, the better quality your image is going to be. I'll put a comparison on the screen so that you can see the difference between a high ISO and a low ISO. Now, a low ISO, so about 50 to 200, will give you the best quality image, but it does mean that your image sensor isn't particularly sensitive to the incoming light, so you're going to have to open your aperture and lower your shutter speed so that you can get the correct amount of light for your image. Medium ISO, so about 400 to 800, is quite good for kind of medium light situations, and usually they don't give the image enough noise for it to matter too much, so you can usually get away with shooting at these ISOs, but just be careful about how you're shooting them. Now, a high ISO, about 1600 onwards, you're always going to see noise in your image, and obviously the higher you go from 1600, the more noise you're going to get. Now, one thing to point out is that the processor in your camera is what processes the noise in a photo. So the better your camera processor, the less noise you're going to get at higher ISOs, because it can process the noise a lot better. So I'm going to put two pictures on the screen. One is from the Canon 4000D, which has a Digic 4 processor, and the other will be from a Canon 90D, which has a Digic 8 processor. So I've got the first comparison on the screen now. Basically what I did was took a picture of a banjo headstock, because that's what I have, and all the settings are the same on both cameras, same lens, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, as you can see there. The only difference is the camera. Now, if you have a look at the black of the banjo headstock, you have to forgive the focusing on the 4000D. Its autofocus is not as good as the Canon 90D. But if you look at the black, you can notice on the 4000D, there's actually a bit more grain than on the 90D. Now, if I switch to an ISO of 3200, this becomes a lot more evident when you look at the two images. Now again, same settings of shutter speed, aperture and lens. The only thing that I've changed here is the ISO. And you can see that on the picture of the Canon 4000D, if you look right in the center at the black, you can see that it's a lot grainier on the 4000D image. So the newer the camera, the better processor it's going to have, and that's just because advancements in technology, that's just how it works. Everybody knows the drill now. So I hope this video helped you to understand what ISO does and how you can control it. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.